Hello, I'm Jayna Jones, and I got to study at college here in Athens, Greece. I had an amazing time while I was studying abroad. Would definitely recommend it to anybody else who is considering it. And so I'm just going to share some quick reflections about my time there. I first chose to study abroad in Greece because I figured Greece was one of those destinations that everybody wanted to get to, but not always had the means to vacation there. It didn't seem as accessible as some other parts of Europe that, big trips might go back at some point. And so I loved my experience there. I worked with a counselor at OCS. And upon further research, I was like, if there's a place I go, I want it to be this. It had the combination of religion and psychology, so I was able to get credits. But I just want to talk briefly about my favorite memory and experience being in Greece. So since I was a part of a program, they had like different field trips kind of scheduled in. And so we would get on a bus wherever the destination was. So we went to Delphi, we went to Olympia, we went to Kalamata, where the olives are from. So anyway, it was just nice to be all around the country really and see like different parts. Like we were living in the city day to day, but we were able to like venture out to the countryside, and we met our bus drivers like family, and they had an orange like orchard or grove like where you could pick the oranges and eat them fresh, and we got to meet like real everyday Greek people celebrating their Lenten season as well. So one opportunity that was just awesome was we went to the first Olympic stadium, and that was crazy because as an athlete, as a person that loves the Olympics, like it was just really cool to see like where it all originated. And it's kind of underwhelming in a way. It's awe-inspiring and underwhelming because there's all of these like stadiums. Like our campus was right next to Kalamata, which is a big stadium in Greece. And so you were expecting like marble for like the Olympic stadium, but it's really like you kind of go through this tunnel and you can imagine like as an athlete in that time, like how that could have been so exhilarating. And then you come out and it's like a field kind of, it's like flat, kind of uneven field, and people used to run barefoot too. And I learned all of this through an athletics course actually that I took while I was in Greece. So it was going hand in hand. But instead of like carved seats, it's just like these sloping hills. And so it's so simple, and it's ancient. So that was awesome to be able to just run around on the field and race my friends and pretend that we were Greek athletes. So I think that was a really awesome experience. And then we went to the museum where you got to see like these statues that were literally larger than life that used to be upon like on the temple of Zeus. And I remember looking up and you see Apollo's face, and it's one of the most, or it might be the only intact like marble head of Apollo. And so you just see like his features were like the way they were carved. It was beautiful. Yeah, that was amazing to see, especially because so many structures and monuments are like in ruin or have to be reconstructed to their full potential. It was cool to just see the original sculpture. And I also took a marble carving class while I was in Greece. And so I think I had an even greater appreciation for the amount of skill it took, because I was just kind of chipping away on a blank slate of marble. But for people to be able to create these forms that were so pristine, and then for those forms to be able to survive all of this time, it was really awe-inspiring. I would definitely recommend studying abroad whenever you get the opportunity, just to be around a different culture, understand their ways of life and their values. In Greece, a big thing was community. And so, especially during the pandemic, like I was able to like check in with some of my friends that I made in Greece and like understand that like there was a more community-based approach. People were checking in on their elders more and checking in on each other to understand like how to get through it. People were wearing masks, keeping away from one another, even though it hurt, and they were kind of able to come through the first wave. I think there might be a second wave there now. But it's just definitely interesting to see in stark contrast to what America's response to the beginning of the pandemic was as well. I would just really recommend studying abroad. It was the best decision that I've made in my college career.